The sun is already rising across the metro, and we're in for another round of warm and sunny weather. Spring was late this year, but at least it's arrived, thankfully.
It's here, finally. Good morning. It is 6:01 on the dot. Thanks for joining us here on Sunrise. Hopefully, folks were able to get out and enjoy it because it's not going to be long-lived, Guy. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Well, you know, we still have the day ahead and also tomorrow, too. Time now 6:01. Our sunrise time 6 o'clock. So just a minute past sunrise. You can see the sun over the horizon this morning. Just beautiful. Temperatures in the low 40s, and it feels like the air temperature just because we don't have to worry about any wind chill. The wind, nice and calm. Here's your hour-by-hour planner. Maybe you're biking to school. Temps in the mid-50s by 9:58. By 11 o'clock later this morning, already getting close to 60 just around lunchtime. We'll make it to 67, 73 tomorrow, warming up. Isolated showers move in on Friday. Megan, how are the roads out there?
Hey, Guy, the roads look great this morning. So, yeah, good news overall as far as that goes. Look at the metro if you want to take a look at your route into work right now. Just headed down to Inver Grove Heights here. Well, actually, first of all, let's take a look at the drive time. So this is from Monticello to the Fish Lake split in Maple Grove. If you're heading east on 94, we're looking at speeds of about 71 miles an hour. It'll take about 19 minutes to get along that route. And then if your route takes you up and down either south or north from 694 to 394, if you're heading south on that region, about 67 miles per hour, and about the exact same if you're heading north. So overall, big picture here, things are looking really good across the metro this morning.
All right, Megan, thank you. Developing this morning at the state capitol, two major bills are on the verge of hitting the governor's desk.
Yeah, they would impact everything from paid time off to how much you pay in taxes.
Yeah, this morning, CC is looking at one of the bills, which passed about 10 hours ago. It includes $4 billion in tax relief, rebates, and cuts over the next 4 years. CC, break it down for us.
Hey, good morning. So senators debated this bill for hours before it finally passed. And we're told that this bill would really lower the tax burden for most Minnesotans. And as you mentioned, it includes some ongoing tax credits and also some one-time rebates. So the Democrats' plan would give back more than $1 billion with one-time tax refunds. That includes over $500 for couples who earn up to $150,000 and $300 for single filers who make up to $75,000 a year. Meanwhile, taxpayers with kids could expect a child tax credit. There's also a proposal for a $1 billion reduction in Social Security taxes. That's over the next 4 years. There were mixed views, though, about how this money could be used.
This is the largest tax cut for retirees who receive Social Security benefits in the history of Minnesota.
There are some things in this bill that we like. There's relief for families and parents with children, although quite frankly, this bill does not go far enough when we have this kind of a surplus.
Looking ahead, a committee will come together over the next coming days to try to hash out the differences between the Senate tax bill and the House tax bill. Jason, Alicia.
All right, CC, thank you. In the last 9 hours, the Minnesota House passed the paid family leave bill, sending it to the Senate. The legislation would set up a mandatory insurance program funded by a payroll tax that businesses could partly pass on to employees. It would also provide up to 12 weeks of paid family leave and 12 weeks of paid medical leave per year through a state-run program.
A bill that would legalize recreational marijuana in Minnesota is also at its final stages right now. House and Senate lawmakers will meet soon to work out the differences before a final vote. And should it pass again in both chambers, Governor Walz has promised to sign it. Minnesota would be the 23rd state to do so. This morning, we're looking at another state who went green, Oregon, and the impact, good and bad, it is having 9 years later. Health agencies there say there was an increase in impaired driving and poison center calls, and a market so flush with weed it drove down prices, sparking fears it would fuel the black market. But it also raked in $178 million in revenue last year. Its 17% sales tax is 9% higher than what Minnesota lawmakers are proposing.
As a public economist, I would say that seems extremely low. I think the state is leaving a ton of money on the table, and they certainly could go for more.
Hansen says it's important to also consider potency measurements, packaging, and marketing rules. Details the legislature hasn't spelled out publicly just yet, but if the bill is signed into law, possession could become legal here this summer.
The final former Minneapolis police officer in the death of George Floyd is now awaiting sentencing. Tou Thao was the officer who held back bystanders as George Floyd died nearly 3 years ago.
I'm Morgan Wolf. Former Minneapolis police officer Tou Thao was found guilty in state court of second-degree aiding and abetting manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. He's the final of 4 officers to face judgment in the case. In his decision, the judge detailed how Tao's actions were objectively unreasonable by not getting Floyd medical help or allowing bystanders to help. In a statement, the Floyd family said that they're grateful for another measure of accountability.
In just over 24 hours, a man suspected of setting 2 Minneapolis mosques on fire will be in court. And this morning, Representative Ilhan Omar is speaking out for the first time after Jackie Little was charged with arson. Court documents also connect him to vandalism at Omar's Minneapolis office.
It is going to be really important for the community to be vigilant, for our friends and allies to continue to stand in solidarity with us.
Now, Little has been ordered to stay in custody until tomorrow's hearing.
In 4 hours, the Twin Cities is getting a high-profile visit from the second gentleman, Vice President Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff. First, he's going to visit the Afro Deli and Grill to meet the National Small Business Person of the Year, Abdirahman Kahim. He's also going to tour the Asia Mall in Eden Prairie. It's all part of President Biden's National Small Business Week. Representative Dean Phillips will host Emhoff and SBA Administrator Isabella Guzman. They're going to talk with some of the restaurant and grocery tenants at the mall about opportunities for employee ownership and business. And we want to know some of your favorite local small businesses. You can text us at 763-797-7215. We got this comment here from Jessica. Good morning. Tom's Popcorn Shop. Love to see that. And one more comment here from Mike Anderson. Thomas Liquors. Thanks, Mike, for sharing.
New details this morning about layoffs at 3M's headquarters in Maplewood. The company notified the state about the cuts, revealing 1,100 employees will be let go. 600 of those workers live here in Minnesota, while the other 500 work remotely. Those layoffs will start on June 30th. These are all part of the global restructuring plan 3M announced last week that eliminates 6,000 jobs. A few months ago, the company also cut 2,500 manufacturing positions. In all, that's 10% of 3M's workforce. Some worry that this is a sign of another recession. And a majority of economists agree that some sort of recession is coming here. The World Economic Forum says 2/3 of their economists predict there will be a recession this year, but their analysts predict it will be mild and short, given how resilient the economy has been despite dealing with record inflation.
Another beautiful day across the metro, guys. Waiting till the very last minute. Hey,
hello.
Get out here. Yeah, it's going to be another beautiful day, but of course there's some chances for rain later in the forecast. But let's get through.
Let's just soak up
this
next sunshine. Look at the blue skies overhead. Just absolutely beautiful today. Great day to get outside. Look at the sunrise coming up here. You can see weather today. I'm calling it A+. Winds. It feels beautiful out here. The wind speed nice and calm for us, so we don't have to worry about that. Now, the winds will pick up a little bit later on today. Winds just out of the northwest and then shifting to the west later on, just at 5 miles per hour. So at the bus stop, temps in the upper 30s to the mid 40s. You'll see by 8 a.m. just some passing clouds overhead. The sun is up right now. 40 degrees is our current air temperature, and it actually feels like our air temperature getting out of the door this morning. All right, next 12 hours, mid 50s by 10 a.m., 65 by 2 o'clock early this afternoon, and then getting into the evening hours, you'll see temperatures up to the upper 60s, 67. That's my forecast high for the day, down to 63 by 8 o'clock. So after dinner time, great to still get outside for a walk. Temperatures overnight in the 50s and upper 40s to start tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning, noticeably milder than this morning. You'll see winds just out of the west at 5 miles per hour. So enjoy this nice quiet pattern these next couple of days before shower chances increase come Friday. You'll see isolated showers at 67 on Friday. Saturday, 67. Showers look to be more numerous on Saturday. Keep that in mind. Some rumbles of thunder also possible over the weekend. Sunday, showers turn a bit more scattered and isolated, and they still stick with us on the throughout the day on Monday before we finally start to clear up come Tuesday with temperatures in the upper 60s. So coming up here in about 10 minutes, I'll run some forecast models, and I'll also dig into, again, those forecast highs and lows as we get into today, tonight, and tomorrow across the state. Stick with us.